Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kia Simone. And child, let's get into this episode 2 of this SWV and Escape Queens of R&B, because I don't know what in the mommy dearest I just watched. It's a time. I know they're selling tickets to their next family reunion. It's about to be a show. Let's get into it. Before we do, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And I got to take a second to say I was scrolling through the comments and I saw a comment from one of my day ones. Shout out to the day ones. Shout out to Lorenzo Malone, who left a comment and said, I need to let y'all know why I need y'all to like the video. Yeah, I need y'all to like this video, please. That helps me to get further up into the algorithm so other people can see the video so they can come here and subscribe. Subscribe while you hear it. Just hit the button. Thank you. So if you could please like, share, comment, and subscribe, I would appreciate it. It's a free package. All of it is free. None of it costs you nothing. If you don't mind, please and thank you. But thank you to everyone who has like, share, comment, and subscribe. And of course, I got to shout out my super thanksters. Thank you so much to Tiffany T, Simone Francois, Tanya Fuller, Fifi ASP, and Yvette Greer. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all so very much. Now, child, let's get into this mess. So episode 2 picks up in the middle of Tamika, Latasha, and their mom, Miss Gloria, fighting. Their mama is putting everybody out and with the cameras cut now that Tamika is shaking the table and spilling all the tea. Tamika said, now, mommy, you know y'all ain't right. Her mom said, I can't believe you came over here with that mess. Tamika said, well, you ain't got to worry about me coming over here ever again in life. Now, at this point, they are in the street. Tamika is screaming and crying, and she's saying how this has been going on all her life, and she's tired. Her mama said, well, if you were so tired, you should have came and talked to me. Tamika said, I been came and talked to you. You know they stole my money. Her mama said, ain't nobody stole your money. It was that real shut up for you send us all to jail. Ain't nobody stole your money kind of ain't nobody stole your money. Tamika is screaming about, you know they did, and you sitting there trying to act like you don't know. And her mama got real quiet until she noticed the cameras were still running and she started screaming for them to cut the cameras or get out of her house. Child, that mama knows something. Mama is in on the scheme or something. So production asked Tamika in the confessional if her mom was upset because Tamika exposed all this in front of cameras. And Tamika said, yeah, because her mom doesn't want anybody to know that her precious daughter, Latasha, would do something like this to her sister. And she revealed something publicly that nobody knew, not even Tamika's own daughter. And according to Tamika on YouTube, because I saw she had did a video, she had said her husband didn't know either. She said she was lying to her husband to protect her sister, but she couldn't lie to the husband no more because the tax bill came. And the husband want to know, why these people want us to pay taxes on some money I ain't never seen? Apparently, it's still her income, so they have to pay taxes on the money that she never ever got that her sister supposedly stole and had deposited into her husband's account. When I tell you, oh, they wouldn't have had to worry about me shaking the table at the house. Mama, I hate to do this, but the sheriff at the door. Child, I done cut up at the bank behind $300. $30,000? Oh, we gonna have a problem. One of us going to jail today. So Tamika and her daughter are getting in their car to leave. Latasha gets in her car to leave. Their mom is leaning into Tamika's car trying to convince Tamika's daughter that Tamika is wrong. Ma'am, no ma'am, this is too much. So not only do you pick a side and a favorite child and alienate Tamika, you're gonna now try to manipulate her child and alienate her and her mother-daughter relationship with her child. Oh, no, ma'am. So Tamika and her daughter finally pull off. And of course, she's very tearful. And she's saying how she's been going through this her whole life. And it's very sad and very uncomfortable to watch. Her mama is dead wrong. So we move on. And the next stop is the Candy Factory, where the ladies are going to be getting together to have them a meeting. Well, Candy looked real cute. I said, I know you didn't get a stylist for this show and won't get a stylist on your main job. Tiny came in her sweatsuit. Even Tiny said, hold on, why you ain't tell me we was getting spiffy today? Where you going? Candy said, why I got to be going somewhere to be cute? Why I got to have a reason to get cute? Now, Candy, don't play with us. Don't play in our face and act like you do this all the time. You know what it is? I think Real Housewives of Atlanta is that job Candy don't give a damn about no more. It's that job you just show up at any kind of way. Either y'all want me cute or y'all want me here. Tamika came in serving legs and hips and body. And of course, they want to know where Tocha is again. So of course, Tamika tells them about the family meeting that turned into a family feud over Tamika's money that I think turned into family funds. Tamika said in the confessional that when she originally told her mom about the stolen royalties, all her mom said was, you don't know what LaTocha might have been going through at the time. She might have needed that money. Girl, you can't tell me the mama is not benefiting in some way from whatever LaTocha is doing. I'm convinced that Tocha is greasing her mama's palm to keep her sister in check while she steals her sister money. And Tamika was in this confessional in tears, talking about how she can't believe her mama would say to her that maybe she needed the money. You don't know what she was going through. She said, when I was pregnant with my youngest child and my oldest child was in college at the time, and you will tell me she might have needed the money? Our next family reunion would be in jail. These people are low down. I'm sorry. And Tocha and her mama look like they bust the church door down. I mean, early on Sunday morning. Now, meanwhile, while they're having this gathering at the candy factory, Tocha is having a meeting at her house with her husband, and all Ike want to know is how his name got brought up. All he wants to do is deny any accusations and make veiled threats about there's consequences when you go screaming people's names. Tasha's in the confessional talking about how Tamika is not going to continue to accuse her and her husband of stealing because they're not thieves, and that her sister has a tendency to lie. Reverend Dr. Ike starts giving some speech about you can outlive a lie any day. You know, that's why I don't give the enemy that much energy, because, you know, the truth can always defend itself. It stands on its own. That's why I call you the truth. Y'all get Stockholmed by some of the weakest fools out here. Because what? And Tamika's going on about, you know, I'm just tired of it. I really am. The vibe was just wrong. She came in with, you know, a stiffness about her. She was aggressive. It's like she was possessed. It's like you don't even believe the shit you say. You know you full of shit. She goes on about she had to be possessed because I've never seen her disrespect my mom in that way. And they cut back to the meeting with Candy, Tiny, and Tamika. And Tamika says, yeah, y'all, my mom left me a message. She plays this voicemail from her mom where her mother is giving her a second Sunday cursing out about, all I want you to know is you're wrong. You don't want to humble yourself down. You don't want to listen to your mama. You don't want to acknowledge that you hurt your sister deeply. You don't have enough God in you to calm yourself and listen to righteousness. And if I hear about you jumping on your sister, ain't nothing in this world will keep me from kicking your tail. I said, well, what in the Patrice Woodbine hell is this? Listen, I'm sorry, because I understand that somebody real mama in real life. But this is also a real demonstration of attempting to manipulate someone based on the power of parenthood. There's obviously something that she is benefiting from, whatever racketeering they got going on, and she's trying to keep Tamika in check before Tamika blows up everybody's spot. But I hope she does. She's crying to Candy and Tiny about, y'all know that's not who I am. Y'all know I've always supported my sister. Y'all know I've always respected and loved my mom. That's not who I am. Candy and Tiny totally agree. Candy is in the confessional saying for years, Tamika has blindly gone along with whatever her sister wanted, including dragging Candy. Tiny is tickled at Tamika finally acknowledging this truth that Candy has been saying for years. And Candy said, if nothing else, she's absolutely proud of Tamika for finally standing up for herself. So we cut back to Rocky and Tocha, and Rocky is asking her, so what's next? What's the plan for the group? And Tasha's, I don't know. I'm thinking about if I even want to do this with them ever again. I said, here we go with this dream girls bullshit. So we move on to Lily of SWV's house so that we can get to know her better and get to know more of her backstory. We get to meet her sister, who is the matriarch of their family since their parents passed back in Lily's 20s. Lily said she moved to Atlanta back in 1996 after her mom passed in 1995, but she's originally from the Bronx, New York, where she grew up with 4 sisters and came from very humble beginnings. She knew from 11 years old that singing was her dream, but she got pregnant at 15 and had to start working. Her mom helped her by keeping her daughter while she would still go to the studio and make her demo. All of that led to them putting together a demo, which got them their first record deal and made them an overnight success. So then we move on and we see Tamika and Taj of SWV getting together to catch up after their whole SWV XSCAPE planning meeting that yielded nothing. So Taj is telling Tamika how she really loved all of the outlandish ideas that she had. And Taj is asking, did Tasha ever come around so we can actually start planning this? Because we got dates booked and shit. I don't know what y'all be doing. Tamika said no. Actually, we've been battling. Tamika is explaining to Taj that her entire life she's taken up for her sister, and she starts getting tearful. Now Taj is trying to play counselor because Taj ain't know all this was going on. I was just trying to find out if we was going on tour. I didn't know y'all had needed a therapist and all kind of shit. Taj said, well, have you ever thought about maybe talking to someone to try to figure out why you've always kind of run behind your sister and done anything for your sister? And Tamika said, I already figured that out, baby. I don't need to talk to nobody. I'll tell you exactly why I run behind my sister and do anything. She said, because when I would defend my sister and anything she did and follow behind anything my sister did, that's when I got my mother's love and approval. But if I didn't agree with my sister or I didn't defend my sister, then I was treated like an outcast. Taj in the confessional said, if you're going to choose a side as a mom, what are you telling the daughter whose side you're not choosing? It's not fair. And the mom needs to get out of the middle and let these sisters work it out. And I 100% agree. So we move on to a management meeting that XSCAPE is having at one of Tiny's 5 houses. Now this time everybody shows up, including Tasha. Now Tasha came, but one thing she ain't gonna do is be happy. Tiny done made mimosas for everybody. Everybody is in good spirits, and here she comes. Hey, how y'all doing? And Tasha got the half-price audacity to be sitting in the confessional talking about how she has yet to get an apology from Tamika. Neither she nor her mom has gotten an apology from Tamika, and she's just not over the things that were said. Well, girl, I ain't over my money that's gone. She feels like this meeting is just a little too soon, but she's here out of her love for Tiny. Girl, go to hell. So they sit down to talk, and they don't really know where to start. And for some reason, Candy figures Tasha, who don't show up to none of the meetings, don't like y'all, barely talks to y'all, is a good starting point. She said, Tasha, I mean, do you want to start? Tasha said, I don't even know where to begin. Girl, we know. Tiny said, well, let's start with management. Let's talk about management, because we just did that versus. And as hot as that versus was, we should have had a whole lot of offers coming off of the verses. And did we fall off or something? Tamika said, no, we ain't fell off. And Candy said, I think we need a new management team. In the confessional, she said, we've been dealing with this management team for over a year now, and we're not getting any real results. So I'm trying to figure out why is we putting up with this. And Tamika gave us the answer. She said, this management team happens to be real good friends with her sister and her husband. I guess Ike strikes again. So they turn to Tasha and ask Tasha, what do you think about what we're saying? And she finally comes around and say, I gotta pray about it. Candy says she don't ever answer nothing straight up. If her brain ain't around, she has to go run it through her brain, aka Rocky. And sure shit, soon as Candy said that, they cut to a scene in the confessional where production is asking Tasha what would it take for her and Tamika to put their issue to bed. And here comes Rocky busting up in the scene, whispering in Tasha's ear like an old pimp. And you can see her just like, let me make sure I get the message. Let me make sure I don't mess this up. Say it again. Production said, what is you over there whispering to her? Tasha looked trapped. And all I'm going to tell you is this. I don't want to hear no surviving Rocky story in 5 years. That's all I know, okay? If you're running around here stealing money with this man and you're stealing from your sister and you're letting him tear up your whole family, don't come nuts with this in 3, 4, 5 years about you surviving Rocky. We don't want to hear it. Candy said, if Rocky is not around, you're not getting a straight answer from her. Now, even knowing that, Candy still is pressing her for a straight answer. Candy said the whole purpose of us coming together to talk about the issues is to actually talk about the issue. So would you like to tell us what you think? And she starts off into the we're dysfunctional. Just girl, we have so many issues and we never address them. We just sweep everything under the rug. Well, could you talk about whatever your issues are? Like, Tocha kills me. She's that person that will never actually say what her issue is. She just talks around this phantom issue. Girl, either say what your problem is or get on out of our face. Tiny said, I would love for us to be able to just nip this in the bud and not have to do all this back and forth if we don't have to. You know, we could try to put all the personal stuff aside. Tocha said, it's easier said than done. Tamika looked like, here we go with this bullshit. Tiny said, you know, listen, there's a sisterly love here. There's nothing that's going to ever change that. Tamika said, listen, why is you still mad with me? Just go ahead and tell me why you still mad with me. Tosh said, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that here because it's about my mama. Your mama. So Tocha corrects herself and said our mother. And they go back and forth about you saying my, I meant our. So Tamika is telling Tocha to just go ahead and lay it out because the rest of the girls already know what's going on. Tocha is, I refuse to talk about, I'm not talking about this here and now. Girl, bye. Tamika told Tocha, I don't know what it is, but you just don't seem like you anymore. Your energy ain't right. You come in with a chip on your shoulder, and I don't know you anymore. Tocha said, oh, wow. Okay. So Tocha decides to get up and leave mid-meeting. Candy said, but we ain't even done with the business stuff. Tocha said, but she and I need to talk. Candy said, well, I guess we'll wait on y'all to finish y'all family feud, and then we'll come back together and see if we can actually handle business. Tiny said, yeah, and I'll go ahead and walk the queen out. Tiny is shady as hell, okay, and I love it. In the confessional, Tamika is saying how it's not fair to SWV or XSCAPE to not be able to move forward with their plans or projects because this girl's over here being David Ruffin. And I'm telling you, I'm sorry, from the outside looking in at this point, I would buy a ticket to a 3-person XSCAPE show before I would pay to see Tocha and her attitude. I cannot deal. Tasha's in the parking lot and Tiny is trying to talk to her about how we got to get this together and y'all got to work this out. And it ain't going to be right till she worked this out with mama. And we come from a praying family. And girl, if you don't take this sanctimonious bullshit and gone somewhere. She's in the confessional about how we came from a family of togetherness and we stuck together and we didn't have nothing and we defied the odds. And it sounds like you're giving all the reasons why you think your sister should let you take her money and not say nothing. And she's going on about, you know, to have my sister disrespect my mother in a way that was unwarranted and then it was lies. I don't care nothing about no money and I don't care nothing about no tour. I guess not, if y'all around there embezzling. So we move on and we see Taj returning to her home in Nashville, Tennessee, where she has one son and her husband, who is a former NFL player for the Tennessee Titans. She said being a wife and a mom are her priority, even above and beyond her commitment to SWV. She said, but it can be difficult finding balance between being in this group who is getting booked again and trying to be a good wife and mom. She said now, while she might think she's having trouble finding balance, her son don't give a damn. He just wants to know the next time she leaving. Me and my daddy be having a good time around here. Why are you around here bothering us? When is you leaving again? So then we move on to Coco's house in Virginia, where she lives with her mom and her son. She says she and her mom have a very close relationship, and they do seem close until she had asked her mama if her boyfriend be coming by the house when Coco be out of town on her gigs, and her mama told her, don't play with me. Coco said, Mama, you be humping? Her mama threatened to knock her with the Bible. Girl, keep playing with me. Coco said her mother raised her in a very strict religious household, and her mother also is where she got her singing gift from. She said her mom used to do sessions with people like Luther Vandross before he was Luther Vandross. Girl. Coco said she grew up singing in church. Her mom did not believe in R&B music, but her friends believed in R&B music and her friends was listening to it. And that's where she got her dream girls aspirations. Now she had to sell her mama a story because her mama was very sister act about the whole thing. So she told her mama that they were a gospel group until they got a contract. And she had to tell him, we're not going to be singing to the Lord. She said her mama was kind of hesitant until R&B bought her a new CAR. Once she bought her mama a new car, that R&B might have been all right. So we also meet Jalen, who is one of Coco's 2 sons. She said he has actually decided that he wants to be a singer and follow in his mommy's footsteps. And that was real cute and all that, but she thought he was going to school to be a dentist. Her other son is an emo rapper, and she said he got 1.1 million followers on social media now. Now, I ain't famous like him, but I got 12.3. I mean, since we throwing numbers around. Now, while Coco is proud of them, she really don't want them to follow in her footsteps. She says she wishes that she had done other things like go to college and experience different things. So then we move on to Tocha and Rocky's house, where Tocha, it looks like, is packing for a trip to go somewhere. And I guess it's her and Rocky's 27th anniversary. He's calling her downstairs and doing all this over the top. Ooh, look at you. Look at the swag. Ooh, you so fine. And you can tell it's so fake. You can tell they don't really interact like this. They don't know what to do with each other. It's awkward. They trying to kiss each other. They don't know if they should keep. We don't do that. He trying to act like he's a gentleman, pulling out chairs and stuff. No, you pulling out checks. That's what they say. And just that quick, she about pissed Ike off because they sit down for their breakfast. He said, let's go ahead and say grace because, you know, they're trying to do all the extra shit for these cameras. She goes and prays by herself. But I sure thought a family that prays together stays together. Y'all just... He said, oh, well, I guess you just gonna say grace over your own stuff. Yeah, forget yours. I think she might hope you joke. So somehow their anniversary breakfast leads them to an escape conversation because that's apparently old Kevin Hunter's life here. Tasha's telling him how the whole thing with her sister and her mom is spiraling out of control. And somehow they get around to talking about Kandi versus Tocha and how Kandi and Tocha have never really seen eye to eye. Tocha is saying in the confessional that it's because Kandi has always had a problem with Tocha singing most of the lead vocals in their music. She said Kandi was the young one trying to come up and she felt a way when Tocha would have to sing lead. She would just get so upset, and she went to Jermaine Dupri about she must be trying to set her up for a solo project. So we cut over to Kandi in the studio with Todd, the DJ for Escape, and one of their producers. And they're talking about the beef and Escape. Todd said, hey, did y'all ever get to have y'all meeting? Kandi said, yeah, we did. It was quite interesting. Todd said, I think it's pretty clear that y'all are not going to be able to move forward until y'all discuss the real issues. Kandi said, what you mean? Todd said, the real issues that exist between y'all. Kandi said, well, the real issues go back so far, it's hard to pinpoint. Todd said, no, it ain't. It's real easy to pinpoint. She intended to leave the group and go solo. She was unsuccessful in going solo. And then you turned around and went solo. That's what happened. That's the pinpoint. See, that wasn't hard. Kandi said she's never going to own that. Todd said she can't get past who you became and who she didn't become. So they cut back to Tocha and her husband. And her husband is asking her, do you think Kandi just doesn't like you? And she said, I mean, there's something about me she doesn't like. And in the confessional, she says back in 1998, when she was supposed to go solo, everybody was happy for her except Kandi. Kandi was telling her, oh, you're not going to come back. And somehow magically, Tasha's solo album got shelved, but Kandi got signed and her solo project came out, and it was all in the same time frame. It was just something was funny about it. Girl, what? So it's Kandi's fault that your solo project didn't do anything? Girl, what? Tocha is a professional victim, and I can't. They end their conversation toasting to her new opportunity. Apparently, Ike done set her up a meeting with a record label to talk about getting her a solo deal. So here we go with this bullshit. And we'll be hearing in a year how it's Kandi's fault when it didn't take off. Back at the Kandi camp, Kandi is talking about how Tocha will come in the room and won't even speak to nobody. The DJ said, well, hey, that might be clue number one, that she get ready to pull a move on y'all. Kandi said, well, if she get ready to bust a move, I hope she hurry up and do it because we tired of her. So we move on and we see Tocha and Ike going to this meeting with Motown Gospel to talk about doing a gospel app. Girl, you got some nerve. So the people from the record label are asking her questions about, you know, what kind of music she wants to do and why she wants to go solo now and blah, 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 blah. Well, they get around to asking her, how do you plan to balance everything with doing a solo project and being in a group. And she starts looking around about, there's a lot going on with that right now. And so I don't know, I don't know if I want to juggle things. I think I'm going to have to make a decision. The guy says, so they don't know you meeting with us. She said, no, they don't. And her old swindling ass husband is sitting there looking like, oh shit, this wasn't in the plan. I didn't know they didn't know. I thought you told them. So the guy asked, are you intentionally not telling them? And her husband start scrambling for an answer about, well, Tocha, she said, well, I like to pray on things. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's what I like to do. I like to pray on it and get it done before I actually announce it, because you know how that can go. She said it's not worked out one too many times, so she needs to protect her vision. And listen, I understand that under normal circumstances, but I just got a feeling that it's your own energy that's sabotaging your projects. So the episode comes to an end with one of the guys that Tocha and Rocky are meeting with asking Tocha to sing a little bit for them so we could sample this product before we put our money on it. And of course she does. And the one thing you cannot deny about Tocha is she's a beautiful singer. She has a great voice. And of course they're absolutely impressed. Everybody is cheering and clapping. And the guy said that was real good, but I got a question. We absolutely see space here for you, but what does that mean for Escape? Because we ain't got time for lawyers to be calling us and shit. And it looks like next week, Tocha is going to start announcing that she had this meeting. But she's announcing it to anybody but the members of her group. Why is you cross town telling Taj? And Tamika is going to finally confront her mother. Jesus be a family therapist. And it looks like once they get past their infighting, the groups are going to be fighting with each other. Because SWV is letting it be known they ain't opening for no damn body. Coco said I sold 30 million records. Girl, child, it's about to be a time. But that's it. That's all. And I ain't got no more. Thank you so much for coming down here listening to me and let me get this off my chest. Please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And, of course, in the meantime, until next time, just like every time, I love you and I mean it. Bye.